Happy Friday, everyone. We're live today. We've got David Shahady here, and we also have Eliza. How are you today, Eliza?
I'm great, thank you, David. How are you?
Really, really well, thank you. We like to come live on our feed at least once a week, just to give you guys a bit of an overview of what we're up to here at RAIF, and also provide you guys with some things to think about to challenge the way that you may think at the moment. We're on a mission here at RAIF. We've got a team across the country helping a record number of people right now build wealth.
Yeah.
We're passionate about it. Something that really is lacking, we feel, in Australia is people having the financial knowledge and education to make the right decisions to set themselves up for life. Crazy statistics out there right now where not many people actually get to the point where they're achieving financial freedom. And what we find is if you don't actually proactively look at how you're going to be able to take control of your financial future and have a plan in place, a lot of people end up on the pension. And most people don't think about it, but the statistics are not very good, are they, when you look at it?
No, they're not. So like 62% of Australians aged 65 or over, they're living off the pension.
Crazy.
Huge statistic. 23% are able to fund their own retirement, whereas 15% are still working simply because they can't afford to retire.
That's madness. So, we don't want to get to the point where we're hitting 65, 70 years old. They keep moving that retirement age as well, where we're having to still work, or we're having to be on the pension. There's not too many that are actually achieving that financial independence, and we're on a mission to help as many people as we can to be able to think differently. It's funny how, when you're brought up and how the older generations sort of think, our grandparents and our parents, they tell us, save your pennies, don't they?
Yeah.
What else do they tell us?
Save, yeah.
Yep.
Just,
They want us to pay our home loan off quicker
yeah.
and get the money sitting in the bank. And what we recommend always is you want to always think about having a little bit of a war chest. So you want to have savings put aside 100%. That's super important, isn't it?
It is. So it's 6 months, isn't it? 6 months.
6 months you want to have put aside, and that's in the case of an emergency that pops up. Anything that comes up out of the extraordinary, you've got that sitting there and you can survive. Once you've got that 6 months money put aside, you want to be saving to invest and have your money working for you.
Yeah.
What a crazy year 2021's been. I'm excited just with the results we're getting for our clients right now across the country. We are helping a record number of people seriously set themselves up for life right now. We've seen our property market across the country perform exceptionally well this year. And there's a massive, massive forecast in 2022. Again, you need to always be investing in the right locations and buying the right properties. But if you do that, the opportunities are still huge going into 2022 and 2023 to set yourself up. But we're hearing success stories, and nothing makes me feel better than hearing these stories that pop up every week of what we're able to achieve for clients right now. And the average client that purchased or invested through our RAIF system and model and through our team and expertise, have made, if they invested around that 6 months, the average client has made around about that $80,000 if they bought a standard 4x2x2 in one of our preferred locations just in the last 6 months, which is huge. A lot of our clients are seeing good cash flow, passive income, and it's amazing. But guys, we wanted to do a bit of a deep dive today, something different. We know we need to invest, and just reiterating that in terms of being able to go, how do we get in the small percentage of those that are financially independent and not end up in the majority that are relying on the pension or having to hit 65 or 70 and still have to work? How do we start thinking ahead? And it all comes back down to knowing your numbers and having a plan, doesn't it? Yeah?
Sure.
So what everyone's encouraged to do is to always have an end goal in mind. And it starts with saying, when do I want to achieve financial freedom? What does financial freedom mean to me? How much money do I need coming in every single week to be able to fund the lifestyle I want, to have the choice of doing what I want every single day? And knowing those numbers is extremely important. So I'm going to use an example, and I encourage everybody to be thinking about their specific situation and running these numbers. Let's say you're 30 years old, you want to retire at 50. So we've got a goal here that we want to stop working in 20 years. That's our goal. So now we know we've got 20 years to achieve freedom. Now let's say we're going to live for 30 years and we want to survive on $80,000 a year. We're going to need $2.4 million.
Big bucks.
Big dollars, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Now, how are we going to come up with 2.4 million? We've got 20 years to do it. We can save. Now, if we save 2.4 million, divide that by the amount of years that you've got, is $120,000 per annum. Now, if you listen to potentially what the older generations like to teach people, save your pennies, you know, pay your home loan off, or you can see what you need to do to be able to get that. And, you know, to be able to save $120,000 a year, you know, a lot of people are not going to be in a position to do that.
And unrealistic.
It's not realistic, is it?
No.
Well, we need to do something, and I think it's clear that everyone needs to be thinking about this, or you end up in the majority. So, what are the minority doing different? How are those that are able to achieve freedom being able to do it? This is a massive, massive passion of mine to help as many people as we can. You know, think differently, put a plan in place, and become a part of the minority. My dad retired, hasn't worked a day since, from the age of 33, just due to investing in property. And and the thing is, what did he do different? He came to Australia, no money, set himself up from scratch on his own, worked hard, invested, and built that wealth and freedom for himself. So I've also been able to follow those footsteps and build that up. I'm going to give you guys a bit of a behind the scenes on what I've done this year in 2021 from an investing perspective. I've dabbled in areas that I don't usually dabble in as well, just to experiment. It's important when you're investing that you do diversify, and we're going to go through what you can do to be able to achieve this goal. So,
should we do a little disclaimer?
Yeah.
So everyone's circumstances are different. So if you want to try, it's best to get
seek financial advice as well. Super important. You've got the right team around you when it comes to that. But guys, so what can we do? We can put our money in a savings account, or we can put it in a term deposit, which is like a savings account, but it locks the money away. And that money sits there with the bank if it's a term deposit, or if it's in the savings account, you can access it at any given time. Now, at the moment, what the banks are paying you is probably about 0.25%. Now, if you look at inflation right now, your money's not going to give you a very good return. But like we said earlier, it's so important that you do have funds put aside for an emergency and a rainy day. And that's not to give you a return, it's just packed up there as a war chest. But right now, inflation, you know, right now, if you had your money sitting in there with the way inflation's going, and we're seeing higher inflation than normal in the country right now, your money will be going backwards. Inflation, on average, is ranging between that 2%, 2 to 3%. If you're getting 0.25, your money's eroding. So that's one option. The other option, something that's really popular, that's becoming more of a trend, is we're seeing, is cryptocurrency. It's exciting, it's new, a lot of people are playing with it, and I don't think a lot of people understand it, and I'm by no means claiming to have a thorough understanding of it. It's a new sort of investment class, you know, and there's a lot of hype around it. Now, I've, you know, connected with some people about it. A lot of people that I know out there have been investing in crypto, and it's been interesting to sort of see what that journey has been like. So in 2021, I put a bit of money in cryptocurrency just as an experiment to see how that goes. But what my journey with crypto has been $150,000 investment, and it's pretty much gone something like this. Whoop, whoop, and I think just this week I've got my money back. So that 150 bottomed out at $60,000.
Oh, wow, 90K.
There was a bit of a drop there.
Okay.
It peaked at around about 165. So we can see here, look, crypto is an investment class that can have huge returns. It can also have huge losses. It's a very speculative investment. And if you're okay with having money invested in such an investment and you're okay to see it fluctuate like that, and the biggest and most important thing is if you're okay to potentially lose that and have that go to zero, you know, crypto might be something that you might want to look at.
So not for those with high anxiety.
No, not if you're, and you know, at the end of the day, if you're going to invest in crypto, I'd say you'd want to put somewhere between 1 to 3% of your net worth into crypto. You wouldn't want to put anything more than that to be safe. What else can we do?
Shares.
Shares. Now look, shares, you can seek financial advice, have the right planner there, you know, that can help you there, but the big thing with shares is, you know, you can actually see growth, which is good, and you can see dividends, which is a return on your money. Now, you can't leverage shares like you can property. There's pros and cons. Now, I've also got a share portfolio of $100,000. My journey in shares, it went down to about 89,000. Didn't quite drop as much as crypto, and now it's back up, sitting at around 105. Again, shares can fluctuate, it can drop and go up. You know, you can receive that dividend income. With the right advice, shares can generate you income. The biggest thing is you want to always have some degree of diversification, and you want to make sure you're getting the right advice. So that's a little bit of an overview of different asset classes there. Now, for me, my number one performer in 2021 has definitely been property. Now, my property portfolio this year has increased by 25%, which is equivalent to $1 million. So I've made $1 million in 2021 through investing in property. And the good thing about that is I had the right properties in the right locations across the country that have performed exceptionally well in 2021 that's seen growth. And that's been over a multiple amount of properties. So by having multiple properties in multiple locations that have all done extremely well, I've seen capital growth in all of them. Now the good thing about that as well is it's generated me 6-figure cash flow passive income as well as giving me that growth.
In 1 year.
In 1 year.
That
So I've got that passive income where I don't have to go to work and I've got that money coming in every single day that comes in as well. And that's all gone up too because we've seen rents going up, and that will continue to go up to keep up with inflation as well. So my property portfolio has been the best in terms of return on investment. And the only reason I would invest in asset classes such as crypto, shares, for me, it's a minority going in there, a bit of an experiment, but property has been a massive winner and continues to be. And it's something that I'm passionate about helping other people achieve as well.
Yeah.
And we're doing that on a large scale here at REIF. Our team are helping a lot of people build wealth, get out, set themselves up. The beautiful thing about it is we can leverage the bank's money. So what we're doing here is when we see a 25% increase, we're making money here on what we've borrowed from the banks, and the banks love it. Why do the banks love it, Eliza? They love it because it's safe.
Yes.
They wouldn't give us 95% of the money to buy one if they didn't feel like their money was secure in what they're giving you. Now, they won't give you 95% to buy cryptocurrency.
No.
They won't give you 95% to buy shares, but they'll give you 95% to buy property. And you can see through property, through achieving growth and having your rental income coming in, it's a double win. And you've got the bank's money working for you, making you money. And in this situation, if you had $4 million worth of real estate that went up 25%, you've just made $1 million thanks to the bank's money. So guys, I don't know where you're at in your journey. You may be just kicking off, just starting to save, to invest, not sure what to do, where to go. We'd love to be able to help you no matter where you're at. Come up with a plan, seek advice around what strategies can work for you in terms of where you want to be. So guys, we're helping a record number of people right now pay their home loan off quicker, set themselves up by building wealth for their retirement, and we'd love to be able to help you too. So no matter where you're at, reach out. We'd love to put a plan in place and get you set up for life. Guys, have a brilliant weekend. Happy Friday again. Any questions, reach out. We're here to help. Otherwise, we'll see everyone really, really soon. Cheers.